to play with the graphics because then they would take the video down, because you can't have anyone listening to Pink Floyd unless, we're so happy we can hardly count. Someone's got to be making some millipennies on you listening to Dark Side of the Moon, which you should, by the way. It's a great album. But let me do this, and then I'll talk about Joe Rogan and Russell Brand and how it does my heart good in just 1 second. The new business, I mentioned this, it's on my pinned tweet. I'm going to be on Alex Jones's show tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, talking about Russia and Ukraine. Because, of course, I am the most knowledgeable reporter in the world on those subjects as they relate to our current political situation in the U.S. and Russiagate. I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable person on those stories because I've never been to Russia or Ukraine. On the other hand, I live in the U.S. where we have the CIA, and the CIA is a big factor in this, as we'll talk about tomorrow with Alex, and as I talk about all over the place. By the way, I should put out another donation thing. A few people came through. I appreciate it. When I'm putting out a lot of material like this, I'm getting back into citizen journalism schools about to launch. I've got a course coming out on Russia and Ukraine. I've got right now, if you go to patreon.com/Stranahan, if you sign up right now as a $10 subscriber, you'll be able to get a film script that I'm working on where I'm taking my journalism and adapting it into various fiction projects. So go do that stuff there. I want to get that out of the way because, Joe Rogan, God bless him, he does a big contract over at Spotify. And I just watched the thing that Joe Rogan posted about an hour and a half ago, real time, where he did a video giving some of his reaction to it. And one of the things, and then I watched that, and then I watched a message from Russell Brand about the Canadian truckers. Russell Brand, both these guys comedians. By the way, I saw Rogan years ago at the Comedy Store do stand-up live, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I used to walk by the image of Joe Rogan every day, multiple times, because I used to work on the TV show Access Hollywood as a graphic artist for about 5 years. And right down from my office in the hallway, there was a Fear Factor poster because it was one of the big, I don't know if you remember how popular Fear Factor was. Fear Factor was one of the top-rated shows, and Joe Rogan was the host of that, and I thought he did a great job of hosting Fear Factor, by the way. It's kind of a weird show where it's basically you're offering people money to eat bugs and stuff like that and do gross stuff, and I thought he did a good job, and I thought that his intelligence and a non-cynical irony, that Joe Rogan realized how weird that show was while hosting it. It was obvious that he realized it. And let me say this about Joe Rogan and Russell Brand, and this is an important point, I think, and I think they might even agree. They both have hallucinogenic experience. I'm going to say that again. They both have experience. The reason I use the word consciousness altering is we all know how things are screwed up, but let's point out how awesome things are right now and the change we see happening. But let me say something. For everybody who sees the political change that has to happen, if it doesn't happen with an equivalent change with people's hearts, an altering of consciousness, if you want to get rid of the deep state and globalism and stuff like that, start by getting rid of the mentality that produces greed and war. And I don't mean normal greed. Everyone's got normal greed, right? Everybody's out for themselves, ultimately, at the end of the day. But some people are really destructive in that, and that's the danger.